TV, why are you making a video out of some random mouth clip art you find in half of YouTube's thumbnails? Well, about that, friend, it's because why not? And so that people can finally discover where this mouth clip art comes from. No, seriously, this mouth clip art along with its siblings are so common on the internet that there's a subreddit and Twitter account dedicated to these sightings. It even made its way into real life. But where did this mouth clip art come from? Who made it in the first place? How did it spread across the internet? Well, in this video, I will be explaining the story about this specific mouth clip art and how it came to be, so here we go. So where did this mouth clip art and its siblings come from in the first place? Well, it came from a web animated series you may have heard of called Battle for Dream Island, aka BFDI. It's a show by Jacknjellify, which is a channel made by Michael and Carrie Huang, aka the H-Twins, the guys who created the Scale of the Universe, which was featured on Vsauce. Now back to BFDI. It's a show where sapient objects such as a flame named Fiery and a leaf named Leafy compete for a prize. Just like Total Drama Island, Survivor, and The Amazing Race, which makes sense since the H-Twins are fans of those shows. However, this time, you the viewers can vote the contestants up for elimination in nearly every episode of BFDI. Also, the art style for the first 3 seasons resemble Homestar Runner's art style, which is a web animated show the H-Twins were fans of too. The channel's logo was even based on Homestar Runner's logo up until August 2018. Now what's the origin for this show, which will lead up to the creation of this specific mouth clip art that I'm talking about? Well, it originally started as a personal comic series on September 30th, 2008 called Total Fiery Island, which had 16 contestants compared to 20, different continuity, and a different winner. However, if you want to get technical, Fiery to keep our customers happy was the true beginning of BFDI, but Total Fiery Island was the one that cemented the competition idea. This comic series was very different from the show that they would create 2 years later. And speaking of 2 years later, the first episode of Battle for Dream Island was released on January 1st, 2010 on YouTube, and it only got around 100 views on its first day. Episode releases were monthly, so February 1st would be the release of the second episode, March 1st would be the release of the third episode, and so on until episode 25, which would be the final episode of season 1. At the end of season 1, BFDI garnered around 1.5 million views on YouTube, and surprisingly enough, it wasn't their most popular content at the time. It was instead a marble-based video. Despite the fact that the final episode of season 1 didn't hit the 1000 vote count for season 2 to happen, Jacknjellify still made season 2, aka Battle for Dream Island again. Unfortunately, at episode 5, they stopped making episodes after losing their AdSense for an unknown reason, starting a 3-year-long hiatus until season 3 came out, which ironically started another hiatus until season 4 came out of nowhere, and then it got split to make season 5. Wow, I said a lot of words in just one sentence there. At some point there may be a season 6 if a season 5 episode hits 100,000 votes. So that's basically all the information you need to know about the show. But where is this mouth clip art used during the show? Well, as you may have already guessed, this clip art is just the mouth asset used for whenever the characters talk. And the same goes for his siblings. I'll still call them clip art since they're widely known for unintentionally being that. So how did these assets made by 12-year-olds at the time spread across the internet? Well, let's find out. Unlike other web animated shows, Battle for Dream Island's Flash files are open source, so they're available to download online. The reason why is because BFDI fans started making their own object shows that are like BFDI, so the H-Twins made the Flash files open source for the fans to use the assets. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but there's an entire community out there that uses this mouth clip art for their animated competition shows with sapient objects, aka object shows. Anyways, when the Flash files became open source, people obviously ripped the assets from the files. This of course included the mouth clip art we all know of. but it didn't spread immediately like wildfire after it got ripped from the files. It's hard to pinpoint when it started spreading, but I think 2014 through 2019 was when it started to really spread across the internet. This is thanks to the assets strangely enough ending up on royalty-free clip art websites when they got ripped from the files. I honestly don't know whose idea it was to add BFDI assets and label them as clip art onto the royalty-free clip art website. Anyways, during the uprising of the assets spreading across the internet, the most common place to find them was on YouTube. You could see YouTubers like DanTDM, Game Theory, or Jack's Film use this clip art during videos or thumbnails. And like I said in the beginning, it even made its way into real life, and surprisingly enough, even the characters of BFDI would be used as clip art. As Jacknjellify quoted on Twitter, "Every 2 months this same specific mouth clip art makes its way on my screen one way or another. Whether it be a YouTube or Roblox thumbnail, it always makes its way back to me. Hiding is useless." And that's probably the best description you're gonna get for how much it spread. What started off as just another mouth asset for an animated website made by 12-year-olds became mouth clip art years after the show's flash files were released to the public. Now, what do the Ace twins think of their mouth asset being used as clip art? Well, let's find out. Starting in 2016, the Ace twins started acknowledging the fact that their assets were being used as clip art for YouTube videos or things in real life. Their response to this was nice. They weren't mad that their assets were being used without credit, which is kinda sad since BFDI could be way more popular if the assets were credited, but still, they instead embraced this phenomenon. And it's pretty wholesome once you think about it. You got them wanting to start a clip art battle with this other overused clip art being its biggest opponent, wanting to roll in the BFDI assets squad onto things that use the BFDI assets, which only lasted for 2 months sadly, wanting to meet an Indonesian restaurant that uses objects or characters on their banner, or even making fan art out of G Fuel's bubblegum mascot, which uses the BFDI assets. Yup, even G Fuel wasn't safe from using the assets as clip art. Then on November 21st, 2022, the Ace twins would make an animation starring the BFDI mouth clip art, which featured a segment that showcased, well, you know at this point. So at the end, the Ace twins weren't mad but happy about their assets being used as clip art. Today, the BFDI mouth clip art along with its siblings are still being used on YouTube, Roblox, or real life, and I don't think they're going anytime soon. Perhaps they may last for years and outlive Battle for Dream Island, but that's all I could say about it. Anyways, that was the story behind this specific mouth clip art along with its siblings you see around the internet in real life, and how it came to be. I hope you enjoyed this video like always. Anyways, goodbye.